Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, how are you? Hopefully you are fine. As you are instructed to stay at home, I think you were staying home and doing great with your studies during this deadly coronavirus outbreak. And I think you are taking enough preventive measures to keep yourself and your family members safe from this virus. So we'll talk about narration from English sandpaper. So this is very familiar to what to you, and we discussed it multiple times. But the point is that it is familiar to you, but you do mistake. You cut a sorry figure. In case of narration, you're not getting good marks there. You make multiple mistakes. So today we'll go through some particular rules, and there are some other techniques how to get good marks, how to cut a so good figure here. So keep watching. So first, uh, what the word narration says, it means. So narration refers to a speech. In Bangla, you can say বক্তব্য. So what a person delivers, what a person produces, there is actually space. So the word narration comes from the Latin word narrate. That means relating or retelling something to somebody. And narration is speech of two types: direct speech and indirect speech. So simply we learned narration means speech, delivering words, meaningful words, expressions, and it's a Latin word that means telling something to somebody, and it is of two types: direct speech and indirect speech. Now let's see what is called direct speech and what is called indirect speech. So from the very word you understand that direct speech means what you exactly quote, what you exactly say, what a person, a speaker exactly says. If it is mentioned there without any change, with a quotation mark, that it is called direct speech. So I repeat, what a person exactly delivers, and if it is quoted there without bringing any change, that is called direct speech. And a quotation mark is used there to indicate what the person produced, what the person said. Here you see an example. Borny said, I read the Holy Quran every day. So what Borny said is, you see that it is highlighted, bold and underlined. So it is called reported speech. So you see an inverted comma there. So exactly what Borny said, that is called direct speech. Means if you find any expression or a sentence that refers what the speaker says directly, that is called direct speech. And another one, Nancy said to me, I'm beautiful. So I'm beautiful, this is the actually exactly quoted here what Nancy said. So what is inside the inverted comma, that is called reported speech. Remember this is the part of narration actually. And the verb before the quotation mark, or I say a reported verb, that is called reported speech, that is called reporting verb. So Nancy said to, this said actually reporting verb. So just these two, I think you are clear. One is reported speech, what is inside the quotation mark, and another is reporting verb, what the verb after subject is used. And the example, Nancy said to Con, I must leave the place now, the reported verb. So these are the things like, hopefully the concept of direct speech is clear to you, what a person exactly produces, and if it is quoted there without bringing any change, that is called direct speech. Now let's see what is called indirect speech. Indirect speech means we modify the speech of a person in our own way in order to report it to other person or people. So you someone delivered or produced a speech, and you heard it, you came to learn it, and now you to share it with others, you to explain it, you to narrate it. So with that verbatim we narrate or we explain this, we modify the speech in our own way. So what the speaker said, we change it, we modify it in our own way to make it comprehensible to the listener. So here at once you are changing it to indirect speech, that way time you to make sure that quotation mark will be eliminated and use that as conjunction. And there are some of the particular rules. This is the common. That's all. So direct speech means what exactly speaker says, that will be quoted there with quotation mark. And indirect speech means what the speaker says, it will be narrated by a third person or by us to in order to reach other listeners. And here we will bring change of the speech according to tenses, subject, pronouns, and other things. There can be conjunctions also. That's all, and vice versa. Many things there. Well, so in the earlier we saw some examples. Bonnie said that I read the Holy Quran every day. So if you wanna change it, if you wanna to express it to someone, what Bonnie said, that bit we bring it change as in the indirect speech. What it comes, Bonnie said that she read the Holy Quran every day. Usually the tense gets changes, so we have to be careful about it. Nancy told me that she was beautiful. So Nancy earlier Nancy said I am beautiful, but as you are to narrate it to someone, that bit it is she was beautiful. So Nancy's expression is described by someone else. So it is indirect speech. So I think the concept of direct speech and indirect speech is clear to you. Direction what the speaker says, it will be exactly quoted there without bringing any change with a quotation mark. And indirect speech means what the speaker says, it will be narrated to someone by a narrator or a third person agency. That's all about types of speech, direct speech and indirect speech. Now we will see some basic rules before going through the high thought rules or advanced rules. So what are these? In case of tense, as I said, the tense will be changed. In case of tense, we'll keep in mind particular things, some things that what the change are made here. So if we find present indefinite tense in direct speech, whenever we to change it to indirect speech, it will be past indefinite tense or past simple tense. I think you have enough idea about tense. We learned it. So if you have a problem, have a look there and get the overall idea, then you can connect here. So in direct speech, if we find present indefinite tense, in past indirect speech, it will get past indefinite tense. Simply simultaneous, it will get a simultaneous change. Present simple, past simple. Next it comes present continuous tense. See, if we find present continuous tense in direct speech, so in case of indirect speech, it will be past continuous. So present tense actually gets simultaneously changed with indirect speech or past tense. Then it comes present perfect tense. See, if you find present perfect tense there, so whenever we to change it to indirect speech, it will be past perfect tense. And the one is present perfect continuous tense. It will be changed to past perfect continuous tense. So we saw 4 types of present tense here, and they get changed according simultaneously with the past tense. Means present simple, past simple, present continuous, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect, and present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous. That's all. Now it comes past indefinite tense. See, and past tense actually revolve within themselves. They do not go beyond their criteria. So past indefinite tense, it gets changed to past perfect tense. This is a very prominent tense, past perfect and past indefinite. Another one is past continuous tense, and past continuous tense is changed to past perfect continuous tense. So these are the table or chart which you remember in case of changing tenses of narration. So present tense gets changed with past tense simultaneously, means present simple, past simple, present continuous, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous. And in case of past tense, it gets changed within themselves. So past indefinite, it will be changed to past perfect tense, and past continuous, it will be changed to past perfect continuous tense. And there are 2 other types of past tense. What happens to them? You might have question. So actually those tense do not get any changed with indirect speech, means it will remain unchanged. So past perfect tense, it will be past perfect tense, and past perfect continuous tense in direct speech. In indirect speech also it will be as it was, means only the pronoun and subject can be changed. So we learnt the changes of the speech according to tense. So only two tense, past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense, do not get any change. Other tenses change, present tense change according to simultaneously with past tense, and past tense revolve within themselves. And future, what happens with future tense? Future actually doesn't match with other tense in case of speech. Rather, will actually, if you remind two words, will or shall, then future tense is covered. How in case for will get would, and for shall will get should, or in some cases would. So in this case, you'll be able to change the tense of the space. Keep watching. We'll see some other particular words. Now you see another chart here. Necessary words, necessary changes in words. See if you find some words there, that very time, what happens with those? Like you get here can. See if you find can in direct speech, it will be changed to could. If you find may, then we'll get might. If you get shall, we'll get should or would. That I said sometimes back. And in case of will, we'll get would. For ago, we'll get before. For does, we'll take so, that way. For here, we'll get there. For today, we'll get that day, or this day, that day. Then comes, if you find come in direct speech, in case of indirect speech, it will be go, next week, next year, the following week, following year, last week, year, the previous week, year, a year ago, a year before, the previous year. If it is this there, it will be that, tomorrow, the next day, yesterday, the previous day, last night, the previous night, the day before yesterday, 2 days before, the day after, the day after tomorrow, in 2 days of time, hence, now, then, this, that, these, those, tonight, that night, must, had to. In some cases, it will remain as must in case of factual truth or universal truth. So we went through two charts so far here. One about tense, another one some changes of words. So in case of changes, these are very prominent, and these are you must remember this. Like example, this, that, must, had to, can, could, will, would, now, then, today, that day, tomorrow, the following day, yesterday, the previous day. This much you will get frequently there. You understand? Well, for example, here we find I went to the theater last night. So we found the word last night. So he said that he had gone to the theater the night before. You see two changes here. I went to the theater. It is actually past simple tense. So it had been changed to past perfect. He had gone. I changed to he. So he said that he had gone to the theater. Then you change this phrase last night. It will be the night before. So in this, I am having a party next weekend. He said that he was having a party next weekend. He said, I am staying here until next week. He said that he was staying there until the following week. Ronnie said, I came over from London 3 years ago. Ronnie said that he had come over from 3 years before. So these are things that we are into charts, and we are seeing the using. We see the use of those words here, how they are changing narration or speech. Now we'll see how to change narration or speech according to sentence. Sentence according to meaning. We see according to meaning there are 5 types of sentences: assertive sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, optative sentence, exclamatory sentence. So we'll see actually how to change of these particular sentences in direct to indirect. First rule. Let's start with assertive sentence. So, rule one says if the reported speech is universal truth, scientific truth, natural truth, habitual truth, factual truth, we do not make any change in the reporting speech. Rather, we change the person only. So, as I said it earlier, suppose we got must there. For must, we to take had to, but in some cases, must get factual truth. That term we do not bring any change. So, it is said here that if the reported speech is universal truth, scientific truth, natural truth, habitual truth, or factual truth, that term we are not supposed to bring any change in the reporting speech. Rather, we will change only the person or pronoun. How? Let's see. The teacher said, God is one. So it's universal truth. The teacher said that God is one. He said fire burns. So it remains as usual. So he said that fire burns. So it remains unchanged. Nancy said it is hot in the summer. So it always hot in the summer. So it will also it won't bring any change also. Nancy said that it is not hot in summer. The teacher said physical exercise is good for health. So if you want to change it, it is also habitual truth. The teacher said that physical exercise is good for health. Mamun said Farah is my cousin. This is a factual truth. Mamun said that Farah is his cousin. Only you say that my is changed to his, means pronouns are changed. So in case of assertive sentence, we came to learn that if you find any universal truth, factual truth, natural truth, scientific truth, this much habitual truth, this much will not bring any change. Only the subject means pronoun will be changed. This is some example. He said fire burns. So just simply he said that fire burns. So it doesn't bring any change. Are the things clear to you? I think it is. It's not that much difficult. So what rule 2 says? Rule 2 says if the reporting verb is in the present tense, the future tense, present perfect tense, they don't undergo any change. So we learned it earlier what the reporting verb. Reporting verb means what the speaker, the verb that speaker uses. It is not inside the quotation mark, before quotation mark, or after quotation mark. It can be used. So in this case, if the reporting verb in present simple or future simple or present perfect, that very time the tense will not get any changed. So what happens? Vonnie says or will say I am right. Vonnie says that she is right. Only pronouns get changed. Kona said to me, I have just taken my breakfast. It's first person. Kona has said. Reporting verb is present perfect. So what happens? Kona has told me that she has just taken her breakfast. Here when change the persons only, tense do not get any change. It remains as it was earlier. He said to me, you are a liar. So here he told me that I was a liar. It is changed. So there's a note to remember. Said to is changed to told. So if you find said to in assertive sentence, just keep in mind, then you will get told there. And if you find first person, the referred to indicate the subject of reporting verb. The second person referred to indicate the object of the reporting verb. Well, we see two rules here. Rule 3 says students often change it into that, but it is wrong. So sometimes we find it and we have a tendency to change it to the word that, but actually it will remain as it is. So it remains unchanged in the indirect speech. He said to me, I know it well. So it there, he told me that he knew it well. Only subject and verb is changed. It remains unchanged. So simply if you find it as object or anywhere in the direct speech, that written, it will remain unchanged. Rule 4 says sometimes the reporting verb is mentioned after the reported speech, and it's possible. So it is not like that said or Said to this much will always at the beginning, but in some cases or many cases this reported verb could be mentioned after the reported space, and it happens. It's usually is possible in this case, but whenever you to change it to indirect speech, that by time it will be at the beginning. So I'm happy now, said Nancy. So whenever you to change it to indirect speech, it comes Nancy said that she was happy then. So it is, you see, the now is changed to then, and I am happy. So for I we took she, am would be changed to past tense was happy. So said it takes place at the beginning. So Nancy said that she was happy then. So there's a note to remember: when you change any direct speech in indirect speech, it becomes an assertive sentence, no matter whether it is assertive or operative or imperative or exclamatory or so every other changes, every other sentences, whenever we change it to indirect speech, it remains or it becomes automatically assertive sentence, declarative sentence, or statement, plain statement. Rule 5 is very primitive and simple. What it is: if you find yes in the direct speech, whenever we to change it to indirect speech, that by time yes will be replied in the affirmative and no will be replied in the negative. If you find please, we'll write kindly. If you find sir, madam, that by time politely, respectfully, or with respect. These are very popular, they're very important, you will find them frequently. So for yes we'll take replied in the affirmative, for no we'll take replied in the negative, for please we'll take kindly, for sir and madam we'll take politely, respectfully, this much, or with respect. The student said to me, I'm sorry sir. The student told me politely that he was sorry. Or yes sir, the student said, I have done my duty. How it comes: the student respectfully replied that in the negative that he has done his duty. He had done his duty. The student said to the teacher, please explain the matter again sir. The student requested the teacher politely to explain the matter again. So as you find the word please here, so you use politely, or you can use respectfully or with respect. So that's all for today. So if you to sum up today was today's lecture, so we actually learned what is narration and how many types of it. There are two types. Narration means speech, what a person produces, it is telling to someone or somebody. And we got two types of narration: direct speech and indirect speech. Direct speech means what the speaker exactly delivers, it will be quoted there, and indirect speech means speaker's words or speaker's speech will be narrated or described to someone else. And then we went through some particular rules. For tense we go see that actually how it gets changed whenever we to change it to indirect speech, and for some particular words how they change in indirect speech. Then we went through so far 5 rules. So my request to you, go through the rules again and again and practice them at home. After finishing the rules we'll go for practice, so keep watching there and utilize your time properly. Do not waste your time doing unnecessary things. This is the great chance you get to reshape yourself or modify yourself. Keep fine. Thank you so much.